beautiful here. Do you make an introduction?
So, it has been a very long time since we recorded something, and we are back now in the beautiful surrounding of the Bossen van Bergen. It's actually the forest of Bergen. Bergen is a small town near to the sea in the northwest of Holland. And this is a very special place to me. I always went here, and now I took Priska for a couple of times, and she has been since then smitten on it as well. So
I'm in love with this place.
So we are. It's like a combination between forest and already dune landscape. I don't know if you have it in other countries as well, but the forest is starting to flow into a dune landscape. And there, if you go that way, then you will come to the beach.
Can you hold that? I can
Yeah.
let them see, perhaps, if it works.
It's the Noordzee, the North Sea.
This is where we're at.
Yeah.
I hope you can see it.
So, welcome. What I told you, it has been a while.
It has truly been a while.
Been a very long while.
We wanted to record. I don't know where exactly the mic is. I think this is it, eh?
I think so.
Yeah, we wanted to record already many times, but somehow every time we wanted to record something, it just didn't happen because somebody felt shitty or
Something
I don't know.
popped up.
Something popped up that was more important to us. So, but we're back and we will keep recording these videos, even if there are longer pauses in between.
Yes.
And there has been, a lot has happened since the last time we recorded the video. I don't even know which one was the last one. What do you want to do?
Talk.
Okay. I think it was about the. Oh, you're so smart, and I have to talk to my shoulder.
Talk.
I'm talking.
Okay.
I cannot focus if you're nibbling on my.
Okay. Yes. Now it's
Okay.
good.
Yeah, the men's mind series was the last thing I think we have done.
Yes.
And since then happened so much in both our lives and especially in mine, I think. Well, in yours too.
It's always because everything has to do with the dynamics between the two of us and with things that just happen in our lives. And we have started this video series to, take you along the path of the development of our relationship. And or especially the ones who already have been following us for a while, know that it's quite a rocky one. And yes, so this is what happens more and more and more. And
yeah, let's just sum it up for those who just perhaps there are people who really see us for the first time. When you see us here for the first time, we would suggest you to look back and to go for another video, for example, how we met. But short things, long things made short, is I moved from Switzerland to the Netherlands to be with this gorgeous man here. And but when we met, he was still married. He has 2 kids. So I think this sums up. And I think everybody who can count to 3 knows that this was not an easy journey. For me, not leaving Switzerland. For him, starting a new life with a new woman, and in a whole different situation with the kids. And now we're at the situation like the last time when we were recording. It was like my biggest issue was that I could not build a home because I've been living for 1.5 years in this little room that I rented out. And I was just bi-weekly with boss, and when the kids were there, even if the kids met me, we always were together on the weekends. Thank you.
just
I'm sorry, I cannot focus. It's strange. I should be able to do that. I'm a woman, doch? Anyways, I was bi-weekly with him, and bi-weekly, like the other week, I was on my own in my little studio, and it was really very small, and it was just not bearable for me anymore, especially as I thought that we already set another date earlier, and then boss didn't feel ready to move in. But this changed. I'm living now.
She lives now in Horen since, well, actually, we have since a week we have been back from a 2 weeks holiday in Switzerland to stay with her parents and to do lots of nice stuff there. And the week before that, Priska moved in. So
Yeah.
this is a bit like the second week that she's actually living in the house.
And I really didn't get it, still didn't realize that I'm really living there now. Because I feel that all the time, like when Sunday's coming, I'm thinking, oh, I have to go again. But nay, I don't have to go again. But there are many things going to change for me now too. Because as I said, he has 2 kids, and they were also with us in Switzerland. And for me, this was like the first time that I really spent 2 weeks in a row with them, because normally I just saw them on a weekend, and then they went to their mama, and then we were together the week, but they were not there. So for me, this really was also a very interesting time to bond with them and to get to know them better. And they're 9 and 11, and well, to be honest, they make it very easy. They are so loving kids. Like,
Yes.
also with my parents, they saw their Baina or Hauma and Haupa, half Oma and half Opa for the very first time, and they just loved them immediately. And it was the same with me too. When we met the first time, they made it so incredibly easy for me. But still, this this visit. Huh?
Oh.
I just want to say the visit in Switzerland brought up a lot for me.
Yes. Yes, because of course it was the first time that we were there with the 4 of us, which was, well, the kids, I have the feeling that the kids were quite easy with it. And me sometimes had some things popping up, but not as much. And for Priska, but also because this is the place where she grew up, and her parents, she saw her parents together with other kids, not her kids, but also a bit her attached to her. So this also brought up, well, feelings of like loss. I don't know if I can call it that, like having your own child maybe, and
Yeah, but yeah,
maybe I'm going too fast here.
yeah, no, it's good. No, it's because it the thing is, because you saw me, I had to cry a lot of times, many times, and not only because of sadness, but it was just very emotional because, yeah, as you said, because we will not have kids, as he had cancer, therefore there will be no kids. And I have never been the woman who like has been dreaming her whole life about having kids. So I cannot say that this is the biggest loss ever for me, but nog steeds. I cannot speak English anymore, I told you. But still, it's, yeah, I think it's in a woman's body somehow that all of a sudden you have this feeling of, I want a kid as well, especially as I love him so much. And like so many friends of me are pregnant or having kids, or like we also spend a lot of time with my friend who has a baby right now. So yeah, this was a big part, and then another part was also, is it okay for you? Was also like that we stayed at the place where my grandparents used to live, because I grew up in a how do you say that, several generation house, just
Yes.
2 generation house.
3 actually.
True. 3.
Grandpa and grandma lived down in the downstairs apartment. There above there was the apartment of your parents, and you lived there, of course, with your sister.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and they are now in the elderly home. They're still alive, but they're quite oldish, over 90. And yeah, so for me it was strange to be in the room with his kids, who are now my kind of almost kids, where I used to celebrate my first Christmas with my grandparents and my
Yep.
parents. So this was very confusing.
Yeah, so lots of worlds came together, especially for Priska, because for me it was actually just a holiday. But I can understand if it would be the other way around, and I sometimes have it even when it was on the Wednesday, on the Sunday, like this period of change, because when my kids would be with their mom, and then on the Sunday, Priska would go back to Apkoude. Well, that's already some sort of a change. And then my kids would be. I already had some difficulties in this period of time, like that you have to switch between two worlds. So I can totally understand that it is very emotionally.
Yeah, emotionally.
Emotionally.
Emotional. And yeah, it was also reflected because we were talking in 4 different languages, like Swiss German, German, English, and Dutch. So like there already the confusion started. And also to see my parents with his kids, this brought up some own childhood stuff, because it's the first time that I see my parents interacting with children. The last time it was myself and my sister. So this was very. Oh, my leg is sleeping. Oh, this was very strange for me as well. Um, and yeah, and being with your kids all the time.
Yep.
And also with this, we had a lot of conversations about the differences of cultures and how to bring up kids.
Yes, because you would think, well, Switzerland, Holland, they are both in Europe, not so far away from each other. But we actually discovered, we already did it before, but now in these 2 weeks we discovered it very into our face, that the cultural differences are quite, well, bigger than we
Thought it would
thought it
be.
would be,
Yeah.
and especially in the well, there can be other areas which I don't know, but especially in the area of bringing up kids, because Holland, and of course we have like very stern, old-fashioned educations as well. But in Holland, it's more free, and of course, like if I say to my children, okay, this and this needs to be done, then I want them to do it, because if I say it, it has to be done. Point. But on the other hand, I give my children way more space to discover their own boundaries, or to discover, okay, how they want or need to react in a certain situation, for example.
Check. Yeah, see?
Oh, strange. Totes, I say. Totes.
Toads. You said toads. And you said something like example. I will hold it because I'm
No, it looks so contrived. Just relax. And
calm.
your hair has to go, otherwise it will swoosh against the thing. I think.
It is.
Ah, okay. Yeah. For example, with eating, with me they have to eat neatly as well. I don't want food all over the table, or that they constantly run around. But I'm more easy because, or maybe you can tell what for me it's not
Just
like so
tell how it
normal.
is for, yeah.
Um,
Or these sort of differences what
well,
people were expecting from you
no, I didn't see the differences because it never was. There weren't actually no people who would tell me
in the face.
in
Yeah.
the face. But Priska afterwards got some information about how people would see the kids and my interaction with them. So I heard it like after.
This is very Swiss too, by the way. We normally never say it into people's faces. This is really something that we know do. We are more like adapting, and then yeah, we're looking for the person who could be kind of verantwoordelijk, responsible,
Responsible.
and then we tell this person, and not like directly into the face. Yeah.
Yeah. There were some examples for that. I don't know anymore actually what, but with, well, I have two very, very, very
Busy kids.
busy kids. Well, you don't say that in English like
They're
that.
like
They are very. They're moving a
energetic,
lot, energetic, and talk.
filled with energy.
Yes, and talking, and this is really how they are. And sometimes I had the feeling, and I had to cry even once. Especially my son is even more because he's younger. He's more energetic than his sister, and because I heard Priska told me later, well, her dad had said something, and some friends of her had said something about him, and it made me sad a bit as well, because I was like that as well, and I constantly have heard, you have to adjust, and you're not good enough, and you should be silent, and actually, this gave me the feeling that I was not good enough, and I love my son so very much, and I know people, everybody in Switzerland did as well, but it gave me the feeling that they thought he had to adjust and that he was too much to handle. And this made me very sad, because when they were smaller, I had like moments that I thought, oh, maybe they are too much, and I have to sit on that, and I have to do something about that. But because they are so pure, and they really are like that, and of course you can always mold it into a better, more civilized version. And of course they have to listen as well to certain things, and they have to follow rules, point. But sometimes I really had the feeling that if I really would be very stern, that I would break a part of their character. And this actually hurt me, because for me it's so important that they can just be who they are, and freely. And of course they have to, like if they are in school, they have to listen to teachers as well, and they have to follow the rules as well. But I think in the base, I really want them to be easygoing and just do
Which they are.
which they are. And this doesn't mean that they can run during dinner, that they can run around and throw with food, because I really think that there are some etiquette
Rules.
rules that, especially when they are with others, that they just have to follow up. Because in Switzerland, I already took them with me, and I said, okay, we are in Switzerland now, and people are more civilized here than with us. So during dinner, I want you to sit on your chair, and I want you to say thank you, and um, yeah, maybe you can
Yeah.
hook in now.
The thing is, and I totally agree with what. Just checking where my dog is. I totally agree with Boss says about, and I can really say I never saw such free kids, and this I already saw earlier, not just in Switzerland. And I thought like, oh my goodness, these kids are so much allowed to be themselves and to try out stuff and to. Is not your hand now on the mic? Okay. To just yeah, I really have the feeling you trust them so very much that they can just be who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And on the one side, this is the most, no, it's actually just a beautiful side. On the other hand, for me, it got quite stressy because, I mean, like we really didn't grow up in a place where there were like super strict rules, or where we had to eat and sit and not talk and stuff like that. We were actually already quite free. But I just know in Switzerland, I don't know, like when you're in a train, people expect that you have your kids under control and that they don't climb up on every thing, constellation. It's even you get fined when you do that. And I felt when they were doing or starting doing that, and I felt like, oh, and this conflict between what I learned how to do it, and I mean, I have been working with kids also for 3 years as a professional, like, how do you say that? Caretaker.
Pedagogue?
Yeah, like I studied at university like to become a teacher, but then I was working as a more social daycare person. Anyways, so I was always in between these worlds, and I felt like people were expecting stuff from me. For example, we were at a friend's place, and she was like, "Oh my God, like they cannot sit for 5 minutes on their billen, on their butt. They always have to run around and do and cannot really listen because the baby was asleep." And I felt that she actually, or this is what I think, she expected some kind of me taking care of it. And I was in between this, where do I go now? What should I do now? And the same with my parents, because yeah, it's so hard when you feel that somebody is expecting something and you yourself grew up like this. And yeah, there were so many times when I felt a bit torn apart between.
Because you are constantly in the middle.
I was constantly in the middle, and people were also talking to me and saying, "Is this always like that, or can we not do something about it?" And for example, you said my dad said something, and yeah, both they did, my mom and dad, but not because they don't love him, because they were more concerned about. Yeah, this must be stressy for him, always being so.
Me.
Yeah, like
Stressy for me, you mean?
nay, for himself.
For Mats.
Yeah, that he's always so on fire and never. And I mean, like, they also not use it, because I think I was really, when I was a child, people told they didn't have children because I was so silent. I was just sitting and observing people. I became a bit moeilijker, a bit more difficult nature when I was 21 or 18. Then it was a bit harder for them. But as a child, I was just so easy. And yeah, there I felt like some major. I couldn't take my stand properly, because I was like, what's now the good thing? Is it more about that they learn the rules and that they can be nice and kind? And for example, this is a small thing that became a very big thing for me, but already in the Netherlands, and we talked about this many times, that they don't say thank you when I bring them something. That they ask for water or something, I bring it, and they just take it. And this almost killed me, because like in Switzerland, you get it like almost in your veins to always say thank you, to be kind. And this, I think, is something that's really important to me. And this is also why, and they do it now. They really do it. And I was so proud when they did it in Switzerland, that I thought like, oh, they didn't do it now. Because I think they are grateful, even if they don't say it, but still we need to hear it. And to be that people get this reassurance, yes, they are grateful, and they don't take it for granted.
And this there are things that Priska shows me which makes me think about how I have done it till thus far. And there are things, of course, that I think, oh yeah, maybe I was too easy there. Like for example, that they are 9 and 11 already, and I have to say, when I still was married, they did chores in the house as well, and they both actually like to help. When I was still married, we, for example, each child had to cook, or had to. We just had like Wednesday was Mats's day to cook with one of the parents, and another day was Lean's day to cook with a parent. And since I'm divorced and I have them 1 week, and I worked 5 days till 7, and then I have to get them from the childcare, and I had to make their lunch boxes already for the next day and cook. So I actually took everything out of their hands because there was no time and I was a bit stressed. But this, yes, of course, it's good because they need to learn some responsibility, and that they also living in some sort of a commune together with us and with their sibling, and that they just, that it's like an organism, and that an organism always needs input from everyone involved, so they have to do stuff as well. And that's something that so there Priska helped me see things as well. So yeah, like the it's not only that we are going to live together, it also brings up lots of these patterns and habits, and sometimes they flow beautifully into the other ones, but sometimes it goes a bit like tick, and then we have to address it and just talk about it.
And yeah, because it's really sometimes, in the beginning, of course, I was just sitting on my mouth, because who am I, the new one, coming into a working constellation, telling him what to do? Because this still, I mean, like this, I really have to find out how to find my voice in an existing system, and where I think this is important. Like for example, this thank you was so important to me that I really wanted to bring it through, in sense of I put it out there, made it a topic with boss, and then we talked with the kids about it, right?
Yep.
But on the other hand, I don't want to just take all my rules, because I also think a lot about how I grew up, and I think this is not everything is just good. I'm used to that, and therefore my system reacts on something. and wants it to be, oh, this is not how I'm used to. I want it to be differently, but sometimes this is not the right thing to do. So it's like just growing into it. And like from next week on, the kids like today in a week, the school starts again,
After 6 weeks of holidays,
and this will be my first time when I officially will be taking care of them and being there when they come home from school and bringing Mats 2 times a week to school and picking him up. And yeah, so this will be very exciting.
Yeah.
Yes.
True.
And I also started, I want to start a new Dutch course because, my goodness, these kids are so smart and they are so good with words. I really, yeah, of course, I will never have their standard, but I really need to catch up a bit with my Dutch. That when I have to be stern, that they really listen. Otherwise, I just have lost before I even open my mouth.
Yeah. So that there will be challenges.
Yes.
Also, this what Priska just said about this system. Now I am getting a bit what she means, but in the beginning that she talked about it, yeah, you are like the three of you, and together with the mom, with my ex, you are in the system, and I'm not having a part there. And then I always got so fucking irritated because I thought, what, this is something that's there, and you are, when you are in our house, we have a system of ourselves. So I actually was thinking a bit too simple there, although I think this is actually the truth as well. But I also now can see that it's hard for the new one, what Priska is, to find your place in, not only in the old system, because I still feel that this is because me and Lean and Mats, yeah, have been together since a year now. Yes,
Yeah,
since
and
a
also
year.
since you were born, and this has also an impact. We cannot just erase the first 11 years,
No.
because also with your ex-wife, you built up some kind of a system, and this is still alive if you want that or not. Of course, it changed, but like the core of it, this is not change. I don't think that's changeable anymore, and this is
No.
okay too.
Yes, but what I meant was that for me, I had a feeling that too much energy was going to the old system. And I thought, okay, we are building up our new system here. Let's focus on that, because the old system will always be there. And for me, I had the feeling that Priska put too much emphasis there. And I was more like, okay, let's build. Because now we are in the position that we can build our system, and let's just put our energy into that. Maybe this was too easily thought, but
I think in the end, it's the right thought, but it's just more complex than this, because it's the upper layer. It's like that. There's just a new system that has to be built, but there are roots, and these roots will always be there, and these roots cannot be erased. So therefore, I have to build on these roots.
yep.
I have to be part of this tree that is already there. I have to grow a new branch there somehow. This.
So we have had a lot of discussions, good ones. Oh, well, they're all good actually, but also that we got pissed, and that we had the feeling that the other one didn't see where we were coming from. La di da, la di di. This is a love relationship galore, actually. So we are living what we want to do with other people.
Yes.
But this is great because I really learn, and Priska talks way more than I do. I think this is what women do actually, because women process their emotions.
Not everyone, but most.
Most women process their emotions more through talking, and men through withdrawing and pondering, and then come back with, okay, this and this and this happened. But I learn, because of these conversations, I learn a lot as well. And well, sometimes I think, shut the fuck up and just leave me alone. And sometimes I think, yeah, come and you call me out some more on my bullshit, because you are just, if you just go on a little bit, you can
Ah, oh, I didn't know that.
pull me over the threshold.
I didn't know that.
Cha.
Is
No,
this
you do-
then when you say like cha?
What's
Is this
cha?
then?
Huh?
I just talked
I
about.
don't know. That it's not like one signature movement that I make then, but just
Can you not give me a sign or
no.
something?
You just have to tune into it, and you can do that quite good.
Well, the
actually.
problem is, or the thing is, when I have something on my chest, you can stand on your feet, on your head, I mean. And we don't have to talk about it immediately, but it has to be talked through. And I think you never withdrew when I wanted to talk until now. And for me, I just found out, this is also something important for me, that for you, sometimes it's more okay just by showing it somehow. And I need stuff verbalized.
Like, I love you.
For example.
You're sexy.
Yes. Because he never says, for example, no, that's not true. No, it's not true. But you really are
I don't say in the amount that she would like.
Nay, I'm not
Yeah.
like... Well, yes. But
that I think she's beautiful or that she's sexy. But what I do when I see her, whatever, in the garden or in the kitchen, and I pass her and I think, ooh, there's my gorgeous woman. Then I just go and stand behind her and put my arms around her, kiss her in the neck.
this counts. This song is also
And this for me
beautiful.
also is
I don't know what's happening.
like kissing in the neck. Did I say
Yes,
that already?
I think you kissed me in the neck already.
For me, the showing is more important than the words, because I always have been taught, even by my mom actually, who doesn't do it anymore, that deeds are way heavier than words. So you have to
Prove it through deeds and
what's
not through
this word? Walk the
path.
talk.
Walk the talk.
Whatever it is.
Walk the talk.
Walk the talk. That you have to walk the talk, or just walk the walk actually. But and if it works, if she needs me to say more, oh baby, you look so gorgeous tonight, and I want to nibble on every square inch of you,
Oh,
then I do that, because it's also, when I say it, I actually feel that it's also nice to say it. So
but
sometimes I feel as well that I have my way, you have your ways, and sometimes it's nice to go in the middle, that you can search into where the balance is between
absolutely,
how it feels the best for
absolutely.
both of you. And
No, but in general, I just feel that I didn't mean. I mean it just with this beautiful thing, because I mean, like, you really make me feel beautiful mostly all the time. Eigenlijk. Actually, and but another example would be this with the kids, the thank you. When you said, I feel their gratitude, I don't need to hear it.
yes.
And when I think yes, but not everybody knows that, and I, for example, don't, when they just keep on playing with their tablet and I bring stuff they want and they don't even look up, then I don't feel appreciated.
Yes.
And this is I think in general, this is the difference between us, that you are not the one who needs the words, while I do.
Yes.
To get also reassurance that I'm on the right path somehow.
Yes. And especially because you are like pantomiming your way into a new world, actually.
This, exactly. And this is also because in the past I did a lot of interpretation in relationships, also with girlfriends or something. And sometimes I really fell on the nose so badly, because I thought this was the sign for this, but the other person totally took it the other way. So therefore, I'm quite for getting clarity by talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, do we want to wrap this up?
Yes.
We are hungry.
Yes, and we have
We
made
have a whole
our
picnic.
show. We are in the forest, and Priska made this gorgeous quinoa salad.
Well, it looks not very gorgeous.
But it is very gorgeous, and we have red wine and bread, and
Yeah, it's all behind
we
you.
will have a blast.
We will.
And yeah, thank you for watching again, and we will. Well, I'm not going to promise anything, but we will try to do it on a more regular base. For people who didn't see the
Into a Man's Mind series.
we will put the link somewhere down here, so you can subscribe, because you have to subscribe to our free love letters, newsletters,
And you get the whole series for free. And people sometimes are a bit scared to subscribe, I realized. You don't have to pay anything for that. You don't have to buy anything. You can just subscribe, and if you don't like our newsletters, you can just unsubscribe unsubscribe with one click. So it's really so easy, or you can just enjoy the series, and if this is not what you would like to get in your inbox, then just
we have had a lot of women that asked questions because they were curious about the men's perspective, and the women who we actually answered the questions of were very happy.
Yes, they thought like that really changed. It was a game changer, and they said like, I wish I would have known that earlier.
Yes.
So be one of the ones who get it early. And it's also very interesting for guys to see and to hear what Bas has to say.
Yeah.
So
we are also still working on the guy version that Priska answers the questions of
the boys.
I got lots of questions about guys, but we are working on that. And yeah,
stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Subscribe to our Facebook page, our Instagram page if you like to, and we see us again.
Yes, and every like emails and shit you can find that
just down below.
There.
We're linked. Yeah. Okay. Have
Thank
a wonderful day.
Much.
Bye.
Doei.
Doei.